ADA Carbon Solutions is the largest, most advanced manufacturer of powdered activated carbon. Activated carbon is a key component in achieving clean air and water, the basis for healthy and sustainable life.
We'd like to welcome you to ADA Carbon Solutions. Hi, Eric. I really appreciate you joining me today. You know, Eric, our contractors play such a vital role in our plant with helping us with plant outages, repairs on existing equipment, new construction projects, and they're just play such a vital role.
Yeah, our contractor partners are key to our success here at ADA. Our primary concern is everybody at this site. We want everybody here to be safe, whether it's an employee, a contractor, or a visitor. And today, you're going to learn a little bit more about ADA. One thing I want to convey to everybody here is that here at ADA, safety is a core value.
Absolutely.
It's not a priority, because priorities can change over time. At ADA, safety is a core value, and core values do not change.
Yeah, I think we all can agree, Eric, that safety is everyone's responsibility, and there's no task so important and urgent that we disregard safety rules just to get it done.
Yeah, so we welcome you here. We want you to know that we're counting on you. We're counting on you to work safely. We're counting on our contractor partners to work with us to help keep everybody here on site safe. This video you're about to see contains a lot of site-specific information. I'd ask that you give it your undivided attention and that you use this information to help keep you safe and those around you safe.
Yeah, as Eric said, pay close attention to the video. You'll take a test at the end of the video to ensure you understood the information. And remember, no job is so important that we discard safety procedures to get it done. Thank you.
All contractor employees are responsible for working safely and productively. Compliance with all safety directives and general health and safety rules is mandatory. All contractors are required to sign in and out each day. The sign-in roster is located in the lobby of the main administrative building. It's important that we have a record of the contractor's visit, and very important to be able to account for everyone in the event of an emergency. All contractors are required to attend Basic Orientation Plus and our Site Safety Orientation through the National Safety Council prior to working in the plant. Upon successful completion of training, contractors will be issued a badge for verification purposes. When advanced scheduling of safety training and site orientation is not feasible, contractors may make a special request to attend site orientation at the plant until training can be scheduled. In either case, contractors shall also be issued a hard hat decal by plant personnel as proof of training to display on their hard hat. Safety orientation must be repeated annually. Contractors will be assigned an ADA CS representative for the duration of their job. The contractor's pre-qualification requirements will be verified prior to scheduled work. Contractors will hold a minimum of one safety meeting per week. Documentation records showing topics and attendees are to be made available to the Health and Safety Manager upon request. Red River is an operating plant, which means equipment is running and heat may be generated from product, steam lines, multi-hearth furnace, and other equipment. Safety precautions must be taken when working around operating equipment. Smoking is only allowed in one designated area in the plant. The designated smoking area is located at the northwest corner of the main administrative building. The area is marked with appropriate signage. The company maintains a drug-free workplace. This is a zero-tolerance policy. Weapons, fighting, or horseplay are forbidden at all times on the plant site. The use of cameras and/or video equipment requires permission from management. If you're operating a mobile communication device, stop in a safe area, conduct your business, and then carry on. Do not walk and talk or text at the same time. You have a responsibility to come to work neatly groomed and dressed in clothing appropriate for work. Clothing that displays obscenities, abusive language, or promotes the use of illegal drugs or alcohol is not allowed. Any work activities inside operational areas of the facility require a hard hat, safety glasses with side shields, and safety footwear. Tennis shoes are prohibited in operating areas. Hearing protection is required in designated areas. Inspect hard hats frequently and replace them if they're damaged. Welding caps and approved skull caps may be worn under your hard hat. Baseball caps should not be worn under hard hats. Prescription safety glasses with side shields must be ANSI approved. Tinted or dark safety glasses will not be allowed when working inside a building, in a covered area, or at night. Hair that is shoulder length or longer must be contained under a hard hat or in a similar fashion in process areas of the plant and when working around rotating equipment. You must wear gloves when your hands will be exposed to lacerations, punctures, burns, or bruises during working activities. Cut-resistant gloves are required when handling sharp or abrasive materials. Gloves must not be used near moving or rotating parts, in running nip points, or other hazardous areas. Consider the hazards and refer to the JSA for appropriate gloves for a particular task. If you're required to perform physical activities in operating areas of the facility, jewelry is strictly prohibited. The only exception to this rule is wristwatches. Contractors performing electrical work may not wear a watch with a metal band. Emergency alarms in the plant include fire chemical release, evacuation, severe weather, and the all clear. If any emergency alarm sounds, report to the maintenance shop located at the north end of the main administrative building for a head count and instructions. Contractors are required to participate during site emergency drills. If the emergency is a release, determine the wind direction by looking at the windsocks and travel across and upwind of the release as quickly and safely as possible. The multi-hearth furnace is a restricted area. Extreme temperatures and flash fires can occur during upset conditions in this area. Clear the area immediately if the MHF high draft alarm sounds. Fire cannot happen unless 4 separate elements are present. These include fuel, oxygen, heat, and a chemical chain reaction. If the fire is small and you're trained to use a fire extinguisher, use the pass method to put the fire out. Pull the pin. Aim the nozzle at the base of the fire. Squeeze the trigger. And sweep back and forth at the base of the fire until it's been completely extinguished. If the fire is too large to be put out, leave the area and notify ADA personnel immediately. Contractors are required to have first aid training and have first aid supplies available to treat minor injuries. The plant has first aid and trained personnel on site to assist in the treatment of injuries resulting from an industrial accident. The first aid station is located in Trailer City on the east side of the plant in Building 7. All incidents, including near misses and injuries, regardless of how minor, shall be reported to the company representative and site health and safety manager immediately. Working in the heat is something that all of our employees must deal with to some degree or another. You can prevent heat stress by following simple measures. Drink large quantities of fluid to replace what's lost by sweating. Abstain from drinking alcohol that may put you at a higher risk for heat stroke. Eat light meals, especially during the hot part of the day. Fruits, lightly cooked vegetables, and salads go well when the weather gets hot. The speed limit in the plant is 5 miles per hour and is strictly enforced. Safety belts must be worn by everyone riding in a vehicle if it's designed with seat belts. Be aware of different types and sizes of vehicles in the plant. Drive slowly and be courteous to ensure your safety and the safety of others. Pedestrians have the right-of-way in the plant. Establish the right-of-way with vehicle operators before crossing their path. Unattended motorized equipment shall not be left running. Vehicles must be parked out of the line of traffic and never block safety equipment with your vehicle. All mobile equipment requires a pre-shift inspection and documentation of the inspection. It only takes a few minutes to ensure that the equipment is in safe operating condition. All contractors must wear fall protection when working from any non-permanent elevated surface 4 feet or more off the ground. Each employee is responsible for doing a visual inspection of his harness and lanyard before use. Defective or worn harnesses or lanyards must be removed from service. When working from a lift basket, safety harnesses will be attached to the lift basket rather than fixed structures or buildings. Do not operate any lifting equipment within 10 feet of any energized power lines. The use of cranes for lifting equipment requires a rigging and lift procedure for lifts over 2,000 pounds. Permits for work in progress are posted upstairs outside the control room. It's the contractor's responsibility to obtain the safe work permit from an operations supervisor. Contractors are required to complete a job safety analysis, JSA, each day for their job. The JSA must be communicated to all employees and documented. The JSA shall be maintained with the safe work permit and turned in when work ceases for the day or specific job. A hot work permit is required before any work begins where an arc, spark, open flame, or other ignition-producing equipment is used. Hot work permits will be kept in the immediate vicinity of the work. Combustible materials, cables, and wires in the hot work area must be removed. The contractor shall provide a qualified non-working employee whose sole responsibility is to act as a fire watch during hot work. The fire watch must have a fire extinguisher and/or a charged fire hose while hot work is being performed. Face shields and safety glasses are required when cutting and grinding. Welding hoods are required during all welding activities and should be worn in combination with a hard hat, safety glasses, body protection, and gloves. Soft cap welding is not permitted unless special permission is granted. Welding machines must be grounded as close to the welding site as possible. Whenever work on any equipment or system cannot be conducted safely while the source of power is energized, that source must be locked out. ADA operators are responsible for initiating the lockout and ensuring a zero energy state. Then the contractor will place his personal lock on the lockout point. Be sure to remove your lock at the end of your shift or when the work is finished. Group lockout equipment is stored in red boxes designated for each system in the plant. These boxes house the ring and locks needed to accomplish the lockout. The Health and Safety Department issues contractors orange locks for group lockout. Contractors should verify that the blue control room lock is in place and then put their personal lock-in tag on the ring. Be sure to remove your lock when the work is finished. Arc flash protection meeting the requirements of NFPA 70E must be worn when opening any panel with 480 volts or more, or for any electrical panel that has the potential for explosion. Barricades must be in place to keep personnel out of an area where the potential for arc flash exists. A confined space has limited or restricted means of entry or exit, is large enough for an employee to enter and perform assigned work, and is not designed for continuous occupancy by the employee. Atmospheric testing must be performed, and a confined space entry permit must be issued by operations before anyone is permitted to enter a confined space. The contractor must supply a qualified attendant at the entry point to continuously monitor the space. All entrants to the confined space must check in and out with the attendant. The attendant is not to enter the space for any reason. The attendant is responsible for summoning help in the event of an emergency. Any scaffold erected must conform to OSHA safety and health standards. Scaffolds must be inspected and tagged before each shift. A yellow tag indicates the scaffold is safe for use with a safety harness. A red tag is a warning that the scaffold is unsafe. If the scaffold is not tagged or has a red tag, it cannot be used. Scaffolding over 6 feet in height requires complete decking, guardrails, toe boards, and a full body harness. An access ladder must be provided for all scaffolds. Climbing the side of scaffolding is not permitted. All ladders must conform to OSHA standards and requirements for each specific application. Ladders should be inspected prior to each use, and defective ladders should be removed from service. Be sure to set ladders up out of the line of traffic or barricade the area. Step ladders must be fully open before climbing. Never use the top 2 steps of a step ladder or the top 3 rungs of an extension ladder. Contractors are encouraged to use barriers, such as caution tape or safety cones, to identify job site hazards associated with the work being performed. Yellow tape indicates an area where caution should be taken. Red tape indicates an area where danger is present. Do not enter a barricaded area unless you're authorized to do so. Use mechanical lifting devices whenever possible. However, if you must lift an object, take into account the size, shape, and weight of the object. Keep your back straight and lift with your leg muscles. Ask for help if the object is too heavy or bulky to handle alone. When 2 or more people are lifting or pulling together, one person should give the signals for the group. Good housekeeping is a basic requirement of an industrial safety program. It's the contractor's responsibility to keep things picked up and orderly. Clean up all work areas as soon as the job is complete and, when necessary, while the work is in progress. Use approved containers to keep trash and debris off floors and out of work areas. All walking and working surfaces should be kept free of materials, parts, scrap, or debris that could result in causing a slip, trip, or fall. Keep aisles and walkways clear of hoses and extension cords. If hoses, extension cords, or welding leads are run up any stairwells, they should be routed to one side of the stairs. Stairs are to be used for walking, not as a route for hoses. Maintain clear and safe access when working on elevated platforms to protect personnel from falls. Do not block electrical equipment, firefighting equipment, or safety equipment. ADA maintains safety data sheets, or SDS, for all chemicals used or stored in the plant. SDS can be accessed using SharePoint on any company computer as well as in hard copy. SDS contain information concerning immediate first aid instructions, product spillage, and proper handling. Any chemical brought into the plant must be accompanied by an SDS and must be approved by the safety department prior to being brought on site. Eyewash fountains and safety showers are located in areas of the plant where there's a possibility of exposure to harmful chemicals. When showers are activated, the control room is alerted. Contractors should locate this and other safety equipment before beginning work. This completes your contractor safety overview. Our safety commitment is based on a genuine concern for all of our contractors and employees. We'll work together to achieve an injury-free workplace.